This is, as you probably can tell from the title of the video as well as the video itself, Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition. It's a remaster for the 2010 Wii game that just came out for the Switch, and I am absolutely loving it so far. This is a game that I have completed myself. I played it a long time ago, multiple years ago, but the story was of such a caliber and high quality that I still remember most of it. So currently with this playthrough, what I'm trying to do is I'm really focusing on the gameplay. For example, I'm not playing as the main character Shulk right there. I really want to try to play as Reyn as much as I can, especially because so far I'm about 5 hours in. I really enjoy his combat. He's a tank character, and I like how his moves and his gameplay in battle almost constantly revolves around retaining poor guy almost falling over. His combat almost entirely is focused around maintaining aggro and making sure the enemies aren't attacking your party members. So right now, I just got a new party member right there. Her name is Charla. She has a big gun, and that's always neat, and she is the first character you get in this game that's primarily a healer. And we have a very pertinent, let me check out the map, we have a very pertinent main story thing that we have to do up here, which will then make us go all the way over here around. But as you can tell from these white exclamation marks, we have a ton of quests that we can pick up here, and I thought it'd be fun to do that, or pick them all up and then do them eventually. For the video, I should say. We escaped with nothing but the clothes on our back, so this is the second major area of the game, and you're sort of here on a quest. I don't really want to give away too much of the story in case you want to play it, but because you won't be seeing a lot of the main story here, but essentially you're on a quest for revenge against a big metallic guy, and that's why we're currently journeying across the world, but probably won't have to worry about that too much in this video. We escaped with nothing but the clothes on our backs. It's unhygienic to be without a change of clothes. I wish we could make ourselves some new ones. And this is a material quest, which we need to get to Turkin crests and Turkin tail feathers. I'm not going to read all of these, just because there are so many quests, and each person probably has multiple ones. In fact, I'm only going to read one. I'm just going to pick up the rest now, just so we don't waste too much time here. One of the common criticisms I've seen about Xenoblade is that the quests are very MMO fetch questy. But honestly, I think they're... Oh, that's nice. Sometimes you pick up a quest of stuff you already have and you just instantly can turn it in, and that's always the best. I actually think I talked about that in a video recently, but one of the common criticisms is that the quests are very MMO-like, and that a lot of them are... go here, pick this up, come back, although Xenoblade kind of skips that by making it so you don't have to return to the person who gave you the quest for a lot of them, but I think they're very in line with the direction and development of the game philosophy. Sorry, I just had to fade away the audio there for a second because my neighbor decided to make a very, very loud noise. What was I saying? I was talking about the quests. I think that the menial nature of the quests and just the sheer amount of them. I've been playing the game for around 5 hours, and I have, excuse me, not that option. I've completed this many quests. It's quite a few, and as you can see, they're all material collection or enemy killing, but I believe Tetsuya Takahashi, the director for most of the Xeno games in the Xeno series, it's kind of redundant, has gone on record saying that when he made this game, all he wanted to do was make a game that was so big, and his goal was always a huge scale in most things, including the mechanics. Nice, another quest completion there. And so that is seen in the amount of depth of the combat, the size of the world, in pretty much every aspect of the game. So I think the sheer number of quests, even if they are fetch quests, works well and in the game's favor, mostly because the main story for the game is absolutely stellar, in my opinion. Probably the best Xeno story since my favorite Xeno game, Xeno Saga Episode 1. And you're never forced to do I want to make sure I'm not missing any quests here. Okay, we'll go north and pick up that one. And you're never forced to do any of the side quests either. My first playthrough of the game, I barely did any, although that wasn't necessarily because I didn't want to, but because the remaster for this game, you can't really tell right now, but on the world map, quest objectives are marked with exclamation points, so you know where you need to go, you know where the item you need is on the map if you look, or you know where that enemy that you need to kill is. But for the original Xenoblade, there were almost no markings at all for quests, and it was a nightmare. I did pick up every side quest I did, but because I was not a very big fan of needing to figure out where everything was on my own, I didn't do nearly as many of them as I wanted to. Let's go ahead and get rid of this group here. So for Reyn, we're going to use this move, the main move, to temporarily increase aggro, and then this AoE skill, which is good for AoE damage, but also fills up it again. Or fills up the talent gauge here specifically. So I could do the aggro move really quickly and get a bunch of aggro. You say it temporarily increases aggro, but I believe the aggro is a additive effect. So the more you do it in a less amount of time, the more aggro you get, and the longer that temporary aggro lasts for. That's the third moth crawler. Me and Reyn always used to play with these when we were little. That was in the original game, and that's one of the greatest quest systems and features that this game has.
Charlotte, do you know which way Juju went?
There are quite a few ways to get there from here, but he's in a buggy, so I think he'll take Ragwell Bridge.
Ragwell Bridge?
It's not far. It's a really old bridge built around the time Colony 9 was founded.
Okay, let's make that our next stop. Sounds like a plan. Charlotte, you stay back. Leave any monsters up to me and Shulk.
What? You think I can't pull my weight in battle? I've got field experience as a medic. If you get hurt, I can use ether to patch you up.
Nice. I'm always getting roughed up. You'll be a big help.
Come on. Who put this barrier in the way? Oh, now the front suspension's all twisted up. Looks like I'll have to walk it. They're all cowards. I'll show them all.
The character that crashed the buggy is Juju, and that's Charlotte's little brother, I believe. And that's who we're going to rescue, but that's probably the only cutscene we're going to see. What I was talking about was if you pick up an item that's required for a quest that you don't have yet, the game uses a sort of future vision cutscene to tell you that you shouldn't sell it, and it also in your inventory marks it with a little exclamation point, which is great. And I wish that more games would steal that a little bit, because a ton of games have a bunch of trash items, and it can be difficult sometimes knowing whether you need to sell it or keep it for quests, and the worst is when you sell it or get rid of it, and then not very long after you pick up a quest and you needed that very same item. So looking at our minimap here, we can't really see anything. One of the issues with Quest 2 is that certain enemies only appear at certain times, so the game does let you... Oh no, I wanted to look at the map. The game does let you change time at any point though, which is nice. Alright, we have... Unfortunately the map doesn't let us see what these exclamation marks are, but we are going to go that direction. Yeah, there it is on the main map right there. This game is just, as you can tell, Gaur Plains, this area we're in right now, is a great example of the scale of this game. And it's really impressive that they got a game this big to run on Wii, although of course this is much, much prettier than the Wii version that I played way back when. I say way back when, the game's only 10 years old, it's not that bad. But it is night and day, especially the character models too. One of the biggest complaints about the character models of the original Xenoblade that I've seen, I got used to them pretty quick, but characters' faces are not very well defined, and not nearly as well defined as they are right here. their faces were kind of just textures, to be honest, in the original. Alright, and let's do a war swing to get our aggro thing up. Use it immediately. This move, hammer beat. Oh, I'll try to explain topple when I get a better chance at an enemy that survives longer. But this move, hammer beat, also increases our aggro. Now the quick time events are interesting. It affects a system that is very in-depth and not necessarily necessary to focus on in the game, which is affinity between the party members. And that affects things like a mechanic called a chain attack, which I'm sure we'll see soon. A lot of exclamation marks in here. As well as a battle mechanic called tension, which is an invisible stat that goes on while you, he's running away to his friends. An invisible stat called tension that rises and falls in correlation with getting hit or taking damage or getting knocked down or getting a debuff, and the higher the tension, the more damage you do. Oh, this is not good. I shouldn't have followed him. Oh my gosh. This might end really badly for us. But thankfully, because I've been doing the quests, I'm a higher level than I would be otherwise. I think the first time I got to this area before, I was around level 11 or 12. Reyn's gameplay also gives him auras and specific moves. I only have one right now. When you have an aura active, you get access to specific moves. This is going pretty well. The damage output is not too bad. So this move right here, engage, locks onto the target, which increases aggro, which you have to really read the skill description in order to see what every skill does in the nitty-gritty of the mechanics. But once I have an aura up, I can do aura burst, which inflicts a strength down debuff on the enemy. The combat gets compared to MMOs a lot too. I'm not sure I necessarily agree with that, especially MMOs in the modern day. If it plays a lot like an MMO, I think the one it plays the most like is probably Final Fantasy XI, because that has a very big emphasis on auto attacks and using skills as they come off cooldown in real time. I would really like to not be dazed anymore. This debuff is lasting a very long time. And here's a perfect example to talk about another version of the, I can't pause so I can explain, but, oh, I'm not sure that was the right option, but I hope that, okay, we broke it, good. Perfect example, oh, because he died. I am still dazed, what is going on? These javelin Turkins are no joke. Charla's dead now too. Oh, what a nightmare. I really should have ran away. So basically, if an enemy is about to do a strong attack that would kill a party member of yours, like this, perfect example, Reyn, Charla, and Shulk, thank you. You see a vision of the future of that enemy using that attack against your character. And we're not too far away. Let's go try that one more time. And then you can use a specific mechanic of Shulk's to shield against it. Or if a character has an ability that would prevent them from... ooh, that is a mad enemy. That doesn't even look any different from most of the other enemies. Anyway, you can avoid damage from the attack. Where am I going? Oh, I missed it. Which also adds a very active layer to the combat as well. Alright, hammer beat. War swing against both of them to fill up the gauge. Oh, it didn't fill it up quite. This move does it too, though. These enemies are also marked for the quest, but I wonder if I'm going for an item or just killing them. Actually, I think I already got an update, so I think I am just killing them. Oh, I didn't mean to hit that, but this is also an active guarding move that Reyn has. Okay, it's the Turkin Crest item. Thankfully, death is not very punishing in this game. There's no armor or weapon degradation. I wanted to lure him if I could. Alright, well, we'll cancel this attack and see let's see what happens. Ready to run away at a moment's notice if they come running. Oh, yep, they immediately aggroed onto me, okay. So what I'm gonna try here is he's probably scripted to always return to that spot. So I'm gonna try to run away from these enemies if they don't chase me all the way across the earth like they are right now. I was hoping to de-aggro and then go after him before he could get to the spot he needs to be, but I guess we'll try. Is that the 70? That is the level 77. That's bad. We're good, but that's another MMOE aspect that I really enjoy, that there's just really high-level enemies in low-level areas just to scare you a little bit. Usually they're huge in this game, so I'm surprised that that one looks so normal and is still level 77. Oh, here he is. And he's gonna run away again, but I should have waited. Charla's a ranged character, so I probably could have surprised her. Yeah, surprised him still, or caught him before he went. Well, before we die, we can look at this very, very pretty view of the ocean and the sky. Actually, I have an idea. Is that chest still? Whoa. Oh, and I'm dazed again. Okay, I got healed though by a party member. That's nice. The gauge at the top left is used for chain attacks, but also for, I gotta put my weapon away to run away at any reasonable amount of time. But it's also used for removing debuffs from allies and reviving. No idea why it made me draw my weapon again. Oh, I hope this water's deep. Okay. I have no idea why it made me draw my weapon again while I was running away. Probably because I took damage. Unfortunately, my allergies are acting up, so I'm sorry if my voice suddenly sounds a little weird. It's the worst part about recording videos in the summer for sure. That enemy right there is what I'm talking about. He's huge and lumbering, and I think he's level 80 something or 70 something. I think 80, 81. Yeah, Territorial Rotbart. Not to be confused with Territorial Robert, who's a completely different guy. Anyway, let's check the map again, because that area is not working out. Until we get a little bit of a higher level. Okay. Let's go east to this one then. That's closer to our main story objective. I guess if I wanted to be boring but efficient, I could camp out at that cave before, or wait for the Turkins to respawn. But that's no fun, and I want to show off more of this gorgeous area, so. The song is really amazing too. The whole soundtrack for this game is great. is a little unfortunate that the game only runs at 30 FPS, but I mean, I don't really expect a smooth frame rate and good graphics from the Switch, unfortunately. How close are we to that? Oh, did it disappear because of the time of day? Well, we'll go southeast to this one instead. There's Lake Wolf. Those are like wolves. Oh, that big guy is our goal. I wonder if we can even take him on. It's a level less than us, and it'll probably level us up to 18 too. Yeah, sure, let's do it. He'll probably live a while, so I can explain the debuff mechanic. One of your Villiera Hill location discovered. One of your major goals in the combat of Xenoblade is to, that's nighttime, is to inflict, has a tiered debuff system. Shulk has a few arts with a purple icon, which inflict break on the enemy, which I don't think does anything on its own. Excuse me. There we go. And once, okay, he just used it, so now Reyn can use this green move, which topples the enemy and then causes him to not attack and also take a lot more damage. There's actually a third tier as well, but I don't think it unlocks until a later part of the game. Let's go ahead and do strength down, because I'm already taking some damage here. But with Charla healing now, I think we'll be pretty good. We already have pretty good damage on him. Oh, I just used the topple. That's exactly what you're not supposed to do. Yeah, okay, so that move will hurt a lot. And that text is white, which means it's a normal art attack, which means I can warn Shulk to use the shield, which will break it. Yeah, nice. It's so satisfying to get that done. Unfortunately, I was going to do a chain attack, but I had to use a bar to survive, so let's try to get a third bar. And there's an achievement that gave us 500 experience, and let's topple him. Oh, I was too slow. Oh, we get the chain attack up right now, we can topple him for sure. So let's do, basically a chain attack is you get to pause time and choose an art for each character to use, and the debuffs attached to those arts always work in a chain attack, I believe, unless the enemy is highly resistant. So, but unfortunately, Reyn only has access to the topple move, and the enemy is not broken. So I'm just gonna do a big attack right now for his move, and now Shulk can do break on enemies in front with this skill. Oh, I didn't think about. That's right, I have 3 party members right now. Let's double inflict break then. I think that'll make us do a 2 pink art chain there. That'll go up to 2 and probably increase the damage a little bit. And we got lucky with RNG, so we get to do one more attack with Reyn. We could get another one with Shulk and Charla, but I think it's based on affinity again and RNG based, so let's do this to topple. And that's the end of the chain attack. And we're gonna cheer because we're good friends. I should also explain that once they get toppled, once they recover from topple, they also have to recover from break again. Oh, and I'm just mashing buttons here. Could really use a heal from Charla, though. What's this? Is this also the same? Okay, this is a red art, which I think using Ryan's blocking ability might work. Oh, it broke anyway. Oh, because he's switching aggro to Shulk. Let's try to get that. Okay. And then let's block. Okay, yeah. Okay, that was a really successful block. I was happy with how that happened, and now we win. Awesome, quest completed. That was a monster rampaging between Villiera Hill and Sky Stage. It will need to be defeated before the errand can be taken care of, and only a few specific quests give experience because they usually send you to kill an enemy that has a lot of experience or gives a lot of experience. And Usually you get a lot of money though, which is nice. So basically killing the enemy is the experience reward from the quest, and then you just get the money. But that's what I'm talking about though. We went to kill it, and thankfully we don't have to. The game has a really convenient quick travel system where you can go to any of these instantly, and there's very little load times. Let's head southwest to this one. Where the loading is very fast. Even on Wii, I was surprised by how quick the loading was when you quick traveled. But you still don't have to go back to the person that gave you the quest to turn it in, which is always nice. Let's get rid of these ugly wolves. Not because they're ugly, but because they yield experience. And I don't think they're ugly. I think they're kind of cute, actually. It's not a very nice name. Oh, I could have toppled, but... right there with that previous wolf that just died, I should have attacked the other one because Charla has a crowd control ability that slept it, so it wasn't doing anything, and I attacked it and woke it up like a dummy. Let's go ahead and topple and then kill. Nice. I hope this has been an enjoyable video so far. I know I'm doing a lot of rambling because there's a lot to talk about with this game. Yeah, let's keep going southwest. But it just, the mood struck me, even though I'm already 5 hours in, and this game is definitely a little bit too long to do a playthrough of, but I love this area and specifically wanted to show it off a lot. And of course allergies and loud neighbors getting in the way, but yeah, hope you're enjoying it. I wonder if the weather system was revamped for the graphics too. It probably operates the same, I'm just talking about the visuals. Oh, can we not get in there from here? Oh, we have to go all the way around, okay. There's definitely a few, battling the geography a little bit sometimes like that. But it adds a little layer of realism, I suppose. Just like visiting any place for the first time, you have to kind of figure your way around. Get the lay of the land. Kisk Cave is where we're at. I'm gonna lure this one. Going into a cave and seeing a single enemy kind of scares me now after our experience with the Turkins. I hope that's what they were called and I'm not forgetting. They're definitely not called the Tarkins. You know, like the Star Wars Grand Moff for the Empire. Oh good, we got a topple. Definitely a lot of fun to bring up a Star Wars video that isn't, or bring up, excuse me, bring up a stupid Star Wars joke in a video that isn't Dark Forces. Let's pull this one too with Warswing. Yeah. Warswing doesn't do a lot of damage, unfortunately, but with how much it fills the talent gauge, it's still worth it. And some AoE is always better than no AoE. Oh, also the tension mechanic I explained. If you're keeping an eye out on the health bars and party portraits on the left, the red arrow going up and the blue arrow going down, that's showing that your tension is rising or falling. Come on, Reyn. Okay, there we go. It's usually not too big of a deal to fight aerial enemies because the auto attack has such a big range and then they come down to fight you, but it can be annoying just to get it started there. Yeah, 1 out of 3 for this material quest. It's kind of an awkward position to fight in. that right there was a not very good usage of War Swing because I was about to get the main skill back with one auto attack. But that's okay, not the end of the world. Alright, that's good. He came down to attack us instead of us needing to get underneath him. That was definitely some questionable AI of Charla using the crowd control sleep ability when it was the only enemy we were fighting. What's this? I've checked it out. It's just a normal ether deposit. Oh, there's nothing special about it. Oh my gosh. Alright, let's get that agro skill up. Okay. And then War Swing. You gotta love surprises like that. Let me change targets to the group. Oh, and I just woke that one up. Definitely gonna have to get used to having Charla in the party. Let's do a chain attack for fun. It resets all cooldowns, which is nice, and it also gives the characters that are in your party affinity, so it's nice to not have to hang on to it. It's nice to not hang on to it all the time, so you get the affinity. Ooh. Oh, let's do this for the AoE. Nice. And this does critical against Flying Monster because she's a ranged attacker, so. Oh, I was hoping we'd get, that's a decent amount of chain damage, but I was hoping we'd get another use. Or get another skill, excuse me. Oh, do we already have chain attack again? Sure. I'll do this big attack. This will do a decent amount of damage. Yeah, wow, nice. Let's go ahead and use this to heal Reyn. Oh, that didn't do anything. That was bad. I probably should have just used Charla for that, considering the fact that she's the healer, but what did I just say a little bit ago? Gotta get used to having her in the party. The quick time events with having to press B and time it with the circle going to the border. That was in the original game, of course, you probably gathered that, but in the remaster, definitive edition, at least in my opinion, it feels like it's a little harder to get the timing down. Ouch. Okay, there's only one left. I think we'll be good. And I'm really looking forward to opening up all these chests after. Come on, team, we got this. I'm waiting for Shulk to break it so I can use the topple attack. Well, we killed it anyway. Okay, for this quest, we do have to go back and turn it in, though. Okay, there's the last quest we needed for these bats. Gives us a solid 1,200 money. I'm not sure what the money's called in this game. It might just be gold. And we're getting some loot. With the amount of loot that you get in this game, I typically just collect it all at once, and then when I get to a hub or when I have to turn into a quest is when I'll go through all my party members and then equip what I need to. Depending on how many improvements I get. Here's a topple and then a big attack. I think another one of my favorite things in games is when the typically tank characters obviously have less damage output. However, I love when the game gives them one incredibly powerful skill. That's definitely this, where is it? What's it called? This sword drive move right here. Actually, since I have a decent amount of AP, why don't I level it up? which lowers the cooldown ever so slightly and increases the damage. Let's do that twice, actually. I've definitely haven't been on top of an hour at this place we couldn't jump up to before, which gives us a nice view of the whole plains over here. I've definitely been neglecting leveling up skills as actively as I should be. It's really fun to spend all the points at once. Actually, I should probably save really quickly. There we go. Oh, here's the Turkin, so we can actually... I'm very grateful to the game for that. We can actually probably finish that quest without going to that horrible hive of them over there. Oh, it died before it could topple. Okay, that's a lot of them again. Specifically, only the brave Turkins are the ones that have what we need. Can I lure them? Okay, that's 3. I can definitely handle that. I say before they instantly kill me. Or give me an infinite days debuff like they did before. I'm not sure what I could have done to avoid that. Oh, chain attack already? Sure. I'll take that. He's already toppled. I'm not sure why it wants me to topple him. Sure, I'll do it again if it tells me to. The game giving you an indicator with an exclamation point that you're in the correct... Oh, I can't believe I haven't mentioned positionals yet either. Reyn doesn't have any, which is why, but for Shulk, some of his moves do more damage. Or a debuff only gets applied if he's standing in the right position from the enemy. So, for example, this move, Slit Edge, only applies a lower physical defense debuff if you hit from the side of the enemy, and air slash inflicts break always, but if you do it from the side, it inflicts slow. So. Does anyone need heals? No, they don't. Let's do this Thunder Bullet. Yeah, not the most impressive chain, that's for sure. But there's our quest complete, and Charlotte was nice enough to sleep one of them, so that's why we didn't have to heal, because we weren't taking nearly as much damage as we could have been. 5,000 gold for that one, that's pretty good. I saw that haste cast right there. And that was no problem. This is great progress. We're already almost level 19. I'm loving this. A lot of fun. Let's kill this archer. He probably has one of the items we need. War swing to build up the talent, and then bone upper to also fill up the talent, and we got the topple. I feel like specifically with Reyn, more than Shulk and Charla, my eyes are usually mostly glued to the hotbar just so I can make sure not to miss a beat, because my biggest struggle in this game when I played it the first time was definitely the aggro management. And there's level 19, awesome. Well, at least for Shulk and Reyn. Unlike, for example, a lot of MMOs, and also I think Xenoblade Chronicles 2, my experience with that game is pretty limited because I mostly just watched my boyfriend play through it, but it seemed to me in that game that aggro was more of a kind of a given for the characters that were designated as tanks, whereas it's a lot more active in this game. Which isn't necessarily worse, just different. And honestly, it makes playing as Reyn very, very active feeling, because I'm constantly doing what I can to get aggro, like right now. And I just got it for a little bit there, but now I need to do these 2 moves so I can get it, and then steal it back. Shulk's backslash is a very, very powerful positional move that he has. And that is gnarly to steal aggro back from. So actually this video is getting pretty lengthy, and that's our main story. We kind of wrapped around, but I wanna... Oh, is that Mekon? Okay, so before we end off the video, I can explain this now too. Actually, I'm curious how the AI will handle this, because in order for anyone other than Shulk to damage these mechanical enemies called the Mechon, he has to do a Monado, which is his sword. He has to do a specific skill that lets us do damage to it, so I hope he'll do it by default. Or he'll just solo them all and make it easy for us. Actually, I can topple and maybe do some damage, yeah. I think we can do damage to the toppled one. And there's the enchantment. Okay, we're good. We can deal damage as normal now. Oh, we have to kill 5 Mechon, okay. Of the big ones, not even these ones probably won't count for the quest if I had to guess. Unless they have their own quest. Reyn, or Charlotte has aggro on that. I don't really know if Mad Taunt is I think Hammer Beat is definitely, it's a slightly AoE move, but I don't know if Mad Taunt only affects the aggro of the enemy you have targeted or not. And there you go, Charlotte, now you're level 19, like the rest of us. There's probably another one, yeah. I'm curious where the rest of them are, because it doesn't seem like there's any more here. Yeah, they're probably scattered throughout the area more. Let's hope that Shulk uses the skill more quickly, or at least breaks this enemy so we can topple. There we go, just like that. Thank you, Shulk. He was clearly listening to me, because the game listens to your voice. Just like, what was that game called that you could speak to your party members in? A binary domain. It was like a third-person cover shooter from 2010. That was bad. I did a behind positional from the front of the enemy, but still killed. Oh, that's a pitiful chain damage. I wish I knew more of the mechanics and how I can sort of, if I could encourage the game to give us more turns with chain attacks, but I'll figure it out eventually. I think we actually have a quest that we have to return to the base, which would give me a very good excuse, yeah, to go back to the camp before ending the video, and then picking up 3 more quests. That's what you love to see. More and more gold to earn. I don't remember what the story of this quest was, but let's see how it ends. You checked it out and it was just a normal ether deposit. Oh, the one where all the bats attacked us. Then a load of monsters came out. Humph. Weird. That shouldn't have happened. Excuse me, happened. No need to moan though, you made it out alright, didn't ya? Anyone can make a mistake, right? Though I suppose you did go. Here's a reward for you. Thank you, old man with a hat. A lime bangle, that's pretty good. I think that's a rarity, uncommon glove. 300 experience is really good. Maybe it's the quests that give you experience that you have to go back and turn in, I'm not sure. And the game figures that, if you're just getting money, you wouldn't even want to bother to come back to turn it in. I don't know. Either way, that was just a very, very tiny slice of this 80 to 100 hour game. Well, I think my first playthrough was 70, that's a little bit exaggerating, but a 100% playthrough of this game was like 200 hours or something crazy, but that was a very little slice of Xenoblade Chronicles, and thank you so much for taking the time to hang out with me in the Gaur Plain, doing some gameplay. It was very fun, killing some enemies and exploring with you, so take care of yourself, stay safe, and I'll see you next time. Bye.